Hey, it's Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Let's get into the market update for May 2023 single-family homes in Massachusetts. So in the last update, we made a very big case that the market was going to go into the seller's favor because because of the banking crisis, that meant the Fed was going to basically stop raising interest rates, and therefore that was going to play into sellers' hands so that basically you could take the money that you were going to be paying in a higher mortgage payment and transfer that to paying more for the house. So it really doesn't win for the buyers. It's more a win for the sellers. This banking crisis ends up to be really good for home sellers. So let's take a look at average sales price, which went way up. Up to, on average, for your average single-family home in Massachusetts, $751. You can see that chart go down and bottom out, say, in February, and then boom, right back up. Now, usually you do see a price increase in the beginning of the spring market. That is very common. You can see that in this chart if you go back to the prior years. But now we have like two things going on the market. We have the Fed pumping the brakes on the interest rates, and also you have the regular spring market factor. And you see that number go straight back up. You can see how it went during 2022. It went up. And then when the Fed started raising rates, it went down. And now we're going back up again. Also, turning around is the percentage relative to the sales price, or the ratio from sales price to original price. And that is, as you can see in this chart, rather dramatic, back up, another turnaround, back up to 102%. So bidding wars are back, not everywhere, but a lot. And we're not at the peak of where we were last year, which was 107%. But anything over 100 is absolutely positively seller market territory. And remember, each percentage point is thousands and thousands of dollars. So I would say that I don't think it really fell to below 96. As you see in this chart, there were some anomalies in the data this past winter because it was such a scant market. But I do believe it fell well below 100, and now it's back up over 100 at 102% of list price. So you're originally listing it at 100 and you're selling it for 102. Of course, you got to adjust that for whatever your sales price this is for your home. But this is another strong indicator that because of the change in the interest rate environment, things are back in the seller's control. And buyers are feeling it. We were at 37 days from listing your house to getting an offer. 37 or 36. Now we're down to 27. In other words, buyers are saying, wow, there's not a lot of properties out there, which we'll get to in a minute, and we better act quickly. So that dropped, 9 days in 1 month? That's a pretty big drop. Again, the whiplash of this interest rate bank thing has really churned this market, as we predicted last month, and now we're seeing now. And why are buyers anxious? Because inventory is stalled. It's still stalled. Look at this chart. Basically flatlined for the last couple of months. You would expect, not much to happen over the winter time. But now you would expect April and May, you would expect inventory to go up. Look at the last couple of years. Inventory usually goes up in the spring. It's very common. It's a beautiful day. I'm looking out the window today. It's a fantastic day. Inventory should be going up, but really it's not. It's stuck at 3,100, 3,200 single-family homes statewide, and we're not even close to that 4,000 number or even close to the 5,000 number. And buyers are feeling the pinch. They're like, well, there's not a lot to pick from. Let's make an offer quick. Let's make a very aggressive offer, and that's why we're seeing the prices go up. The sold number also confirms that. Remember, this is a lagging indicator because anything that's sold on this day probably went under agreement 4-6 weeks ago, something like that. But look at those sold numbers in April, 2,469. And just look at the chart. It's flatlined. You see the trend from chart to chart. You can see the trend flatline. Interest rates at 7+ now. They're like 7.25 or something, depending upon your credit rating and how much you put down, whatever. You can maybe get under 7, depending upon your credit rate. So, upper 6s, lower 7s. And people are saying, why should I sell my home that I have a, 2.9% interest rate to get some. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So there's not a lot of sellers out there. And lastly, you see this in pending home sales. In April, the trend is up, as you would expect in the springtime, but it's way off what we saw in 2021 and 2022. In April, we had 3,700 homes go to pending single-family homes in Massachusetts. But look at these numbers from the last prior 2 years. 2022, we had 4,800. 2021, we had 5,500. That means that there's the same story as with the banks. It's the same story with the banks. The interest rate differential hurt the banks because they invested in low yield long-term treasury bonds, and now you have people like, why should I move and change double my interest rate? That doesn't make sense. So overall, you're continuing to see fewer listings. Buyers recognize that, and as a result, prices are back up, and it's again a strong seller's market. We will be contributing to the inventory. Remember those signs that are usually behind me? Those have been dropped off, and they're going to be going up at some of our new listings coming very soon. And I hope to see you again on the interwebs. I'm Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.